What if the reason your finances never change isn't a lack of faith, but a misunderstanding of what Scripture actually says about money? Because most of what we were taught in church about finances was only half the truth. Many Christians believe that if they tithe faithfully and pray hard enough, financial breakthrough will follow automatically. If you've ever thought, "I'm doing everything right, so why is nothing changing?" This is for you, brothers and sisters. The problem isn't your giving. It's that no one taught you the other half of what Scripture says about money, and that gap is costing you more than you realize. Why is this more serious than it seems? Because an incomplete financial theology keeps believers passive, waiting on miracles while ignoring the wisdom God already placed in Scripture. And passivity dressed as faith is still passivity. Some of you have given generously, prayed consistently, and still feel stuck. And the shame of that silence is heavier than the debt itself. Some of you have wondered if God is withholding, or worse, if you're being punished. The hardest thing to admit is that no one ever taught you that God expects both faith and wisdom to work together. Generosity without stewardship is incomplete. Giving is holy, but Proverbs 21:5 reminds us that the plans of the diligent lead to profit, but haste leads to poverty. God honors your generosity and your diligence. They were never meant to be separated. Begin tracking where every dollar goes this week. Awareness is the first act of stewardship. Scripture calls you to wisdom, not just waiting. Philippians 4:11 tells us Paul learned contentment. It wasn't given to him instantly. It was developed through seasons. Biblical wisdom about money builds character before circumstances change, and sometimes regardless of whether they do. Identify one financial habit Scripture has already spoken to and address it honestly before God this week. Pay very close attention here, brothers, because this is vital. Not every financial struggle is a spiritual attack. Sometimes it is a human decision, a lack of planning, or an unaddressed pattern that wisdom, not prayer alone, must correct. A difficult season is not proof of disobedience, but a persistent pattern is worth examining honestly before God. Jesus did not come to crush you with heavy burdens, but to give you abundant life and peace. The decision is yours, to pursue the full picture of what Scripture says about finances, not just one half of it, because settling for passive faith will steal the faithful stewardship and wisdom Scripture calls you to walk in. If you are willing to trust God with both your faith and your wisdom, write this in the comments: "Lord, teach me your wisdom about money," and let that be the beginning of your transformation. And if this message spoke to your heart, subscribe to The Burning Bush, because the bush is still burning and God is still speaking from it.